Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Today we're back here with Extra History. I know it's been a while, but I figured I'd give it another chance. Today, we're actually checking some secret societies throughout history. First up, we're going to Rome for the Cult of Mithras. Mithras, huh? Don't think I've heard of that god. I don't know, just definitely sounds new, but let's see what this society's all about and see their rise and I guess fall, because, well, I never heard of it, so let's see what happened to the Cult of Mithras. Be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Let's check it out.
Londinium Britannia, 3rd century CE.
Okay.
You descend into darkness. Around you, flickering shadows dance in low lantern flames as you see Roman worshippers breaking bread in a ritual meal. Among them are politicians, soldiers, even slaves, all acting as equals. For a moment, you think this might be a Christian chapel, built underground to elude authorities. But once your eye catches the statue at the end, glowing in a shaft of light, you realize there's nothing Christian about it. It is a white bull surrounded by animals. A dog laps at its spilling blood, while a snake coils around one leg, mouth open to the ruby droplets. A raven looks on as a scorpion viciously clamps
on the
bull's
snake, a raven, and a scorpion.
And astride the animal sits the
so
god
I'm guessing that's Mithras,
wrenching the bull's head up and plunging a dagger into its neck. What does this mean? Well, that, dear viewer, is a secret. Unless, of course, you'd like to join the Brotherhood.
Don't worry. Don't need to learn the Brotherhood here. Just enjoy the show.
Thanks so much to Factor for being the secret that keeps us extra historians well-fed fast. Dear viewer, I can see you are a curious sort. A subscriber, hopefully, of a certain quality. Well, if you wish for illumination, all you have to do is follow me. I'd be lying if I said we weren't watching you for some time, noting your hunger
this
for
is
the truth.
interactive.
And truth is something we can.
I swear, I better not be just walking to a wall here.
Of course, if you dare take it. Oh, Allie, the blindfold, please. Welcome, seeker of knowledge, to Ordo Extra Historia, a clandestine society
Order of Extra
dedicated
History?
to forbidden knowledge of the past and terrible Latin. Over the next several weeks, as you move up in our ranks, we will grant you revelations about some of history's most famous secret societies, why they formed, what members got out of them, and how they influenced history. Now, our order has long lurked in the shadows, with many famous and prominent members throughout time, like, well, you know, Allie over there, and Zoe, me, of course, Rob, definitely, founding member, and, you know, George Washington was probably one, too. You can't prove he wasn't, because, secrets. But before we get into any of that, we must first tell you the secret rules of our order you must follow. Supreme Excellent Lawgiver, if you please. Bam! Right there, you break that covenant, and we will be so mad at you. But enough preamble. On to the first grade of revelations that we bequeath upon.
So what's up?
The history of one of the oldest secret societies, the Cult of Mithras. Mithraism was a mystery religion, a specific subset of religious beliefs that thrived in the ancient world, and as you will find out each episode as you move up in our ranks, would eventually come to define later secret societies. Mystery religions were small subsets of Greek and Roman religious worshippers who practiced secret rites, claiming special or ancient knowledge of mythic figures, religious stories, or esoteric subjects. Pythagoreans, for example, held the secrets of geometry and told tales of its place in the cosmic order. The cult of Isis was a Hellenistic group born during the melding of Greek and Egyptian religion, which claimed special understanding of magic. And during Dionysian rituals, the god of wine and fruitfulness presided over heavy drinking and sexual rites. Granted, there were many, many more, all sharing similar rules. Secret rituals and knowledge, selective invite-only membership, and hierarchical grades where one gained more knowledge, power, or insight, the higher one rose. These societies themselves weren't secret. Their inner workings, however, were. But among the most...
I mean, but wasn't this during, like, the 3rd century crisis? I mean, from that opening, you know, 3rd century CE, weren't, like, cults like this getting, like, the, well, stamp out? Like, or what's that, just Christianity in hell? You know, it's, you know, I mean, you remember back in 3rd century crisis, I think it was part, I want to say 4 or 5, but I'll go 5 because, well, Diocletian was 3, I think Tetrarchy was 4, 5's got to be the prosecution hour, yeah. Sorry, just had to remember where it was, but Huh. I guess Christianity is just the one that became the scapegoat. And I guess religious like this are like, just do whatever. I mean, like they said, as long as they gave a tithe, they'll be fine. But I'm guessing they left for a reason. Let's just see what happened.
Successful cults were the Mithraic mysteries. Though, first, we do need to go over the true meaning of that word, cult. See, the modern world has given the word cult a bit of a bad rap. Because you hear cult, and you're likely to picture Heaven's Gate, or the Branch Davidians, or maybe an English rocker telling you that some woman's selling sanctuary, but that last one might just be me. But what cult actually means academically is a
that or the
subset
people's
of
temple,
worship, basically a
family,
group
you get the
within a
idea.
group with slightly divergent beliefs, like the cult of the Virgin Mary in Catholicism, for example. However, in the 20th century, the word increasingly became used as a pejorative to describe new religious movements that traditional religions considered threatening or uncomfortable. But just know that when we use it here, it's academically. What we know for sure about Mithraism is actually fairly scant, because its members held their vow of secrecy well. Ancient texts discussing the group are frequently either asides or from people such as early Christians criticizing it. But when some of these accounts are cross-referenced with the remains of Mithras temples, known as Mithraeums, found all over the Roman world, some information can be corroborated. We know, for instance, that like many mystery religions, Mithraism involved a select group of worshippers sharing a communal meal. And we know these communities were small due to the size of the buildings, which were often either built in or built to resemble a cave. Likely, no more than 20 to 30 men, the Mithraic mysteries being a male-only group, could fit in there at the same time. However, archaeological evidence does suggest that the wider community would occasionally feast outside in a community event. We also know from carvings that the 7 grades of membership described in the written accounts were definitely used. These ranged from the lowest ranked Corax or Raven, first rank members, to the 4th rank Leo or Lion, all the way to the 7th ranked Pater or Fathers, who served as leaders. So generally, it's assumed that most adherents would achieve the Leo ranking. Now, no one's really sure exactly how these ranks worked, since some evidence suggests they were disregarded during the meals, or not particularly hierarchical. But it is known that each elevation in grade did come with a series of ordeals, which could involve endurance of temperature extremes, or being blindfolded and threatened with death. One body-sized pit discovered in a Mithraeum in northern England suggests some sort of simulated or symbolic burial and rebirth. In another, the initiate had to refuse all crowns, saying their only crown was Mithras. Now, if you've noticed an astrological theme at this point, you are not imagining things. Most of these ranks and symbolic animals had astrological significance. Each grade was tied to one of the 7 known planets of the classical world, and it's generally assumed Mithras himself contained some astronomical significance, though that itself is buried in mystery. Actually, speaking of mysteries, you're probably also wondering who exactly this Mithras was. Like, what was he the god of? Well, that's surprisingly a difficult question as well. The Romans certainly thought he was Persian, since he wears a Persian-style cap. And Mithras seems to be related to an earlier Persian god, Mithra, who presided over contracts and agreements. However, the cult itself is so traditionally Roman that it's believed only a few key details, and possibly just the name, of the god were borrowed. In other words, he's not an ancient Persian god. He's the Roman idea of an ancient Persian god. The Roman Mithras appears to have been a form of solar deity, who hunted a cosmic bull and dragged it to an underground cave before slaughtering it. Though, rather than an act of destruction, this may have been a story of creating bounty, since the bull's wound often incorporates sprouting grain stalks. But again, these are theories and not well understood. Mithras was also associated heavily with the Roman sun god Sol Invictus, who features in art from Mithraeums. What is clear, though, is that Mithras was popular. Archaeologists have identified between 200 and 400 possible Mithraeums throughout the former Roman Empire, with the cult beginning in the 1st century CE and continuing into the 4th century. In fact, so many Mithraeums have been discovered, some with membership lists on their walls, that it's actually possible to track members transferring from one group to another, which seems to have been a major appeal of the sect. See, Mithraism was a cult that attracted the common people, middle class, and even slaves. But it was also vastly popular in the Roman army, which was a group that frequently moved around.
So basically like a private club.
At the very edges of the Roman Empire, from military outposts in Syria to one literally built under Hadrian's Wall. For a soldier
Wait,
being transferred to a new posting, the local Mithraeum could be a touchstone that gave them both a familiar environment and inbuilt group of companions. Its masculine
Yeah, that almost does sound like it's a boys' club in a way. Like, think about it. Like, it's mostly men. I mean, well, for the main, like, 20, 30 men and down below. I'm guessing the ladies there were more, like, community events who were probably their wives. I mean, I'm just speculating, but at least that's how I'm seeing this whole thing as. But, I don't know. It does sound like a frat in a way, doesn't it? I mean, you can see the similarities, right? Or is that just me? Anyway, move along.
Themes of hunting and violence no doubt appealed to soldiers who would have also used the social atmosphere to form connections that might aid their careers. Because there, commanding officers could be approached as brothers rather than superiors, and a high grade in the group signaled trustworthiness and status. This tie with the army likely became increasingly close during the later Roman Empire, as the Emperor Aurelian established the cult of Sol Invictus, popular with troops, and a major feature in Mithras worship alongside traditional Roman religion. However, by the 4th century, Mithras had a powerful foe in early Christianity. The belief systems competed for converts, but really it was no contest. The enclosed and intimate nature of Mithraism meant it couldn't propagate with the speed and missionary zeal of Christianity. Though, arguably, the priesthood would eventually take many of the aspects of mystery religions, such as elaborate incantations, hierarchical grades of membership, and special knowledge. But then, over 1,000 years later, when the Catholic Church had a hold on political power, another secret society emerged to challenge it: the Illuminati. But, dear viewer, those secrets are for when you return next time and attain your 2nd grade of wisdom in the Ordo Extra Historia. But you know, there is one last secret I can bequeath to you before we part ways until next time, and that is the code to unlock affordable
And there's Factor. So, yeah, the Cult of Mithras does sound more like a way to connect, too. So less of a cult, more of a bro hangout, I guess. It's kind of crazy, and well, I guess this goes to show, if you don't try to get more members, you tend to fail, like, you know, like you saw with the Cult of Mithras. They underestimated Christianity, and look where we are now. Well, anyway, let me know what you guys think of the Cult of Mithras. Honestly, I think it would have been fun to hang out. Let me know. Until next time, see ya!